Infatuation, also known as crush, is a feeling that one has for another, which is the opposite sex. And it's a type of feeling where, you know, you're just very crazy about this person, and oh, I really like this person, I want to be with this person. So it's that rush feeling that you think is love, but it is not love, because before you know it, it just withers away. So you just have this feeling for this person, and it's giving you butterflies. You're thinking of the person, you want to have the person around you just because person looks good, smells nice, appears good, talks well, has money, or is very influential. There is a reason, or there is a hinge on infatuation, because if you remove that thing, then whatever it is you feel is likely to go. So that is what infatuation is.
For me, when I hear the word infatuation, what comes to my mind is that it is instant. So we could say infatuation is an intense emotion that is short-lived. So it's just at that instance, that moment when it happens.
Love and infatuation, some people say they go hand in hand, because some people go from infatuation to love. Some people say no, they don't coexist, they can't be together. But I'm of the opinion that they cannot be together, because infatuation, in as much as infatuation and love are both feelings that are driven by emotions, and because you have a type of emotion that you feel for the other person. So that is the similarities between infatuation and love. There is attraction, there are feelings, there is longingness or desire to be with a person. But the difference between infatuation and love is that love withstands tests, as they say. Love is not based on something. Love is unconditional. So you love this person not because he is fine, or she is hardworking, or because he's going to bring the money, but you just love this person because you are seeing attributes in that person which you feel it's something that you can work with, or something that aligns with what you have inside of you. While infatuation is just something that you see in that person, and it is that thing that is drawing you or attracting you to that person. So love stands test of time, but then infatuation withers away. Love is substantial, you can hold on to it, it can stand even when there is nothing that is holding it. But infatuation, once what is attached to it is taken away from it, it falls and it withers away. And before you know it, you're like, oh, I can't even believe I had a crush on this person. So that's what it is.
I would say the similarities between the two of them is they both possess an intense emotion, and then there is also this feeling of connection. When I mean an intense emotion, you want to get to know the person more, you want to get to spend a good number of time with the person. And when it comes to about connection, you want to know details about the person, where the person is from, and all that. So these two things can be found in love and then emotion. And when we talk about the differences, I think the differences is in the duration, just like I defined. I said infatuation is short-lived, but love is something that endures time. Love is patient. It wants to know you better, even beyond your flaws. But infatuation can be short-lived, probably when you just bringing something into the table that the person may not be able to relate with. And then about stability, I want to also consider stability. I want to talk about stability. Infatuation is not stable, and love could be stable because we tend to endure the person's flaw in love, but in infatuation we just feel like the person is already perfect and there's no need to correct the person, so that could bridge the stability of that relationship. I think that would do for now.
Well, many a times, infatuation has so many things that triggers it. Oh, because, well, it could be what we call, people have idols, or like, not idols as per um constructed, like things that they hold on to or they cherish. So if I say, oh, it's only a man that is fair that that I like, or I'm only going to be with a man who has money, or I like men who have captives, I like men who are very intelligent. Some people say that they're supersexual. Okay, hey, I love women who are very busty. I mean, those type of things, or I love boss ladies. So if you hinge on those things, and then you happen to come across someone who has that attribute, it's that reason which you have held on to that is drawing you close to that person, because you are not attracted to any other person that doesn't have that thing. So that's one of the things that triggers infatuation. Another thing I feel that triggers infatuation, I have come to realize that for people who have self low esteem, who or people who low self esteem, sorry, or people who are reserved, they don't want to mingle themselves with people, so they just stay indoors, and instead of maybe coming around to mingle with people, they just idealize their own type of person, and then inside of them they've created this person. The person actually exists, do you understand? But because in their mind, okay, I want this fair person, I want this dark person, I want this type of lady, I want this type of man, and before you know it, they that start having a type of feeling that grows inside of them, which actually is not love, but it's just something that they have created out of something that they have made for themselves. Another thing that triggers infatuation is peer pressure or influence.
The season we are in now is the Valentine season, and you could feel people, okay, I want to do this, I want to do this, and all of that. So I feel for me, what triggers infatuation is one, you feel like the person's physical stature. I know people just drew because they see someone and they be like, ah, he's too masculine, he has birth, he has six packs and all of that. So those things could make someone feel infatuated. You feel like you love the person, but probably it's just the physical appearance that you are in love with. Another thing is it could be out of pressure. You are in a circle of people that probably all of them have someone who they are with in a relationship, and you also want to feel among and all of that. So anyone that just comes your way, you'll be like, "Ah, I think this person looks like, let's say, Joy's boyfriend or Stanley's girlfriend and all of that." And at the end of the day, you just get into something that you did not prepare for. Infatuation could be as a result of chemical reaction. You know, as teenagers and adolescents, or even youth, we are growing every day, and as we grow every day, our hormonal responses to things begins to change too. And at that point, you begin to feel this due to chemical reactions in the body. You begin to feel more geared towards the opposite sex and all of that. So most often it is a natural phenomenon, but then being able to handle it properly would help us not make mistakes that would put our destiny on the run.
Have I been infatuated before? Of course. Why not? I mean, when I was in secondary school, they used to call me the ultimate crushing machine because they were new every morning. Every time I had different crush on different people for different reasons at all times. I can't remember a time. Do you know there are some times when I'll be like, I don't have a crush. It's not possible. I'll start looking for who to crush on. That is to tell you that infatuation is almost meaningless. Like there is no base for it because you just want to flow. So I was like that while growing up, and because I couldn't open up to my parents because of the typical Nigerian parents that we had, so they didn't know about it. But then I opened up to my peers who were also the same thing with me, and they were even encouraging me, and even giving me more things to do. So I had sometimes I would have a pile of crushes that I would take at the time. And it was such a fun time for me. But I thank God that I had a good and a strong mentor who always brought things like this to our consciousness, and then we were being taught right. So what I did was I knew that, oh, infatuation, crush is just a feeling, there is no strong reason attached to it. So it's just something that also passes off. It's something that phases away. So there is no need for me to, hinge on it or take a bold step. Thank God I wasn't, because I know some people who actually had to meet the people that they had crushes on to tell them, okay, I want to be in a relationship with you. And when two foolish people put their heads together, nothing reasonable would come out of it. So I didn't do that because I had a good mentorship. So it's good to submit yourself to mentorship, and it's also good to always open up to your mentor no matter what it could be. So I didn't take that bold step, and that was what saved me. Otherwise I would have fallen into a ditch, and it would have made a huge impact in my life.